Having a blessed Tuesday. So, excuse me, today for Plant Feature Tuesday is going to be my Philodendron Rojo Congo. Philodendron Rojo Congo. She's quite a beast. I've had her for a year now. She's actually my first large leaf philodendron. My first philodendron was a neon heart leaf philodendron that's huge right now. Um, so that was my first one, and then this was my second philodendron out of my philodendron collection. And she has grown so much, quite a bit. She was just a little in a little pot, a little tiny 8 inch, 6 inch, almost 5 inch pot when I got her. And it was so funny because she only had a few leaves on her. And I seen her and I kept wanting one. I would look at it, then I'd put it back, look at it, put it back. And then I finally got her. It was one of those situations I was going to leave. And I was like, I wanted a red Congo, but it's not here. And then at the nursery, she grabbed it and was like, look, it's one right here. So yeah, so she was sitting there waiting on me, but she's huge. She's getting huger, and she's gonna outgrow me, but I'll make room for her. Her care, basically, I've given her really all kinds of different light. I've given her bright and direct light. I've given her direct sun. I have huge west windows. She's been in my kitchen, in my front room. I do keep my blinds up and windows open pretty much all summer long. I don't have the air conditioner on in my front room or kitchen, and it's just warm. And there's the windows are open, so that they get light all day long, so pretty much. But so yeah, pretty much. I've given her, different types of light, and she still grows. She grew during the winter. I believe she grew, I want to say maybe one or two leaves during the winter time, but summer she's pushed out several leaves. This one had just has opened all the way up, and it opened up this month. Every month I'm getting a new leaf from her pretty much, and then she always has a new one popping up under it. And so they grow from this middle stem right here. And then there's actually aerial roots coming, and I'm sure that's probably where you would propagate at, is right here, because now this stem, this actual one right here, is pushing out aerial roots. So I believe that would be where, if you'd want to propagate, but I would never do that. But here's a new leaf. It's like once one is all the way open, you'll always see another one. For some reason, there's a new one coming right behind it. And then the older leaves, like, I've cut off a few of the older leaves because they just kind of got, they were kind of old and little, and I just got rid of them because the mature it gets, the leaves get huger and huger. So yeah, bright and direct light. I let her dry completely out. I use my moisture meter, even though I've gotten used to knowing when they need to be watered or not, but I use my moisture meter, and I either water her when she's at 1 or 2. 2 is almost dry, 1 is completely dry. And I let her dry completely out. Then what I do is put her in a bucket, unless I'm watering her in the shower. And in the shower, I did a video actually on drenching her and washing her leaves off in the shower. But what I generally do is sit her in a bucket, and then I just water her, drench from the top. With it being summer, I've been doing from the top, watering from the top. But what I also do is let them sit in that water. Especially, I've been feeding them with Neptune fish and seaweed fertilizer, organic fish and fertilizer. So they're kind of having like a root soak at the same time. And they just sit in that water, and let it soak all the way up because they're so dry. So I let them soak all the way up. I do probe through the soil to get, make sure all the water gets through to the roots and stuff. And then I let it sit like that for maybe an hour or so, and then I pull it out. Sometimes even longer. It's like they're having a sauna or a bath, and then I pull her out, let her drip all the water out, get as much water as I can, and then she's good to go for another week or so. And I water her maybe every 7 days during the summer. During the winter, I probably water her every 2 weeks or almost once a month, to keep it real, because they don't want to be overwatered. That's the worst thing you could do to one of them. And letting them dry out completely has kept them alive to me. So yeah, as far as misting her leaves and stuff, I don't really do that. Even when I was giving her air circulation, one of her bottom leaves that I had to take off, but these thicker leaf ones, it seem like they don't like their leaves to be missed for some reason. I don't know why. Like the black cardinal, she's another one. She don't like her leaves to be missed, so I don't really mess with it. But what I do is give them showers, or like recently, I took some horticultural spray. This stuff right here, it's the all seasons horticultural and dormant spray oil. You put that in a water bottle and you spray the leaves down, and then I wipe them down with a clean napkin and just pretty much wiped and clean their leaves. I do that from time to time too, and shower them. Just because they get dusty, real dusty. So I try my hardest to keep their leaves as clean as possible, because especially since they're so huge and they need to photosynthesize that sun as much as they can, and I don't want no spider mites attacking them. So that horticultural spray is also good for that, because it helps with disease and bugs. Now the soil I treat with a bone systemic. I put that in the soil. You have to do it every 8 weeks, and then I also have a systemic that's a liquid form that I put in the water, and that's like a once a year systemic that you drench the soil with, just for preventative reasons, just because I just do not want to have no bugs eating them alive, and I'm more of a safe and sorry person, so I'm all into preventative. If you stay ready, you don't got to get ready. So that's my motto, or whatever that word is. But yeah, so we're bright and direct light soil. I have with her particular, all I had on hand was let's see, EB Stone cactus mix, espoma potting soil, organic potting soil. EB Stone is organic also. And then I had some perlite, some orchid mix, and orchid bark. So that's the mixture in her soil. Very well draining soil, which aeroids love. And the orchid mix has charcoal and perlite in it. And then EB Stone has the pumice and soil, real cactus mix, but it does have the pumice in it. And so that's the mixture for her. And then, like I said, I let her dry out. The pot she's in, it's about a 7.5 size pot. She's not pot bound. So she's in a nice size pot. I put her in this pot, I believe, in March. But she was in a little tiny 6-inch, maybe even 5-inch nursery pot. And then I repotted her in March. I pretty much repotted everybody in March. I put them in terracotta or concrete pots. And the pot I got, I love it because it goes with the Rojo Congo. But it's from Ross. I think I spent like $5.99 for it. But other than that, this plant is very easy to take care of. Keep her leaves clean. If you have neem oil, use that, because And make sure you do it at nighttime and you don't put her in no direct sun when you do have when you wipe it down and clean the leaves with oil. Any type of oils, you want to make sure you don't put her in no direct sun. um, as far as humidity goes, I generally keep bowls of water around her, and I also put cups of water in her. I just sit it in the pot, and that just gives a little bit extra. But it's generally cups of water sitting around, especially during the summer. Now, winter, that doesn't really work as well as it would in the summer, because in the summer the bowls of water, it's hot, the water's heating up, and it's going up into the air, it's sucking up into the air. So winter, when it's cold, that doesn't really work. So I have a vaporizer that I was using last year, but I'm gonna grab maybe a few humidifiers, maybe one or two, just to put with the vaporizer, because I have a lot more plants this winter than I did last year. But the vaporizer worked perfectly, and I still have bowls of water around them last winter, and they did good. So, um, but she doesn't need like all that humidity like uh, the Hoyas. Well, Hoyas don't need 100%, like the Photonia and the Calathea and Marentas. She doesn't need all that as much humidity, and they don't even do it. They get as much as I give them right now, and they all surviving. So, um, but during the winter, I will be supplementing light and giving them some extra humidity during the winter, just based on when it's cold. Then bowls of water don't really do no good. It almost freezes, and I don't keep a heater on in my house, so I do like put the heater, I mean the oven on, and open the oven and let them get that heat coming in. But I live in a small place. I'm going to be moving soon, so it'll be a lot larger, and I'll probably have like little portable heaters, but not no central air and heat. I don't like using that anyways without plants, just because it puts airborne stuff in the air. That's a whole nother story, but yeah, so that's the care for her. Like I always say, I uh, the care that I provide is from Sacramento, California. Not, that's where I stay. I've given her bright and direct light, west window. I've given her direct sun. I've given her lower light, and she still thrives. So, um, that's pretty much it for the care for her. She's a beauty. She does grow big. If you want like one big, huge tropical plant, you don't have to go like I did. Just buy a. I probably won't get any more upright philodendrons. This is it as far as upright. If they're not climbers, then I don't need them, because I really don't want any more upright ones, just because they grow out, and she takes up a lot of space, and she's one of my favorites. Her and the black cardinal, they take up a lot of room. So, and my green emperor, that's another one. They're my three uh, upright philodendrons, and so that's probably all I'm gonna keep is those, because a climber, you see, she's almost to the roof. My red emerald, which is ridiculous. I have to repot her, but I'm thinking of actually cutting her, because she's only two stems, and that stem is like Jack in the Bean box or whatever. So what I'm gonna do is cut that stem down, because there's only two, and then start a whole nother stem and propagate that, so then she'll have three stems. That's the project that I'm going to be doing on her. So I'll try to video that, but she is only two stems, and it's time to cut her down, and then I'm going to try to get her to have three stems, so she's more bushier versus just having that one stem. The other stem is actually growing also, but it's not as tall as the one. So, but anyways, yeah. So if you're looking to get something big, tropical, the Rojo Congo would be the first pick out of everything, because it's so easy to take care of, and it like I said, it survives in any kind of light. Like, you don't want to put it in no dark corner. I wouldn't do that to any plant, but it survives and it doesn't need a whole bunch of humidity. You water it when it dries completely out. And then as far as pests go, I'm preventative. I'm always looking, but I know there are bugs can get to her. So do like I do, be preventative. Get you some bonite systemic, put that in the soil. That works through the roots all the way to the foliage. Then you have your horticultural spray. Clean the leaves as much as you can. Constantly check, because I know bugs can get to all plants are susceptible to getting them. So if you keep that attitude and think that way, it's best to be safe than sorry. That's my motto. But yeah, so that's about it for her. I'm not going to keep going on and on. I've told you pretty much the light I give her, west window, bright indirect light. I've given her low light as well. Humidity, I generally keep a glass of water in her pot. But I believe she'll be fine without it. Let her soil dry out. Make sure you don't put her in too big of a pot. You probably could, and if she was outside, I would have her in a huge pot if she got like outside care, but she doesn't, so it's best to just keep her in a smaller concrete pot. And like I said, she's not pot bound, so she's not root bound, so she's good. But that's it for her. That's my Philodendron Rojo Congo. The new leaves do come out this color, and then they darken up and become this with like a red margin around the leaves, and they're huge. These leaves are humongous. She's a beauty. I think a lot of people don't realize this is one of the beautifulest philodendrons. I fell in love with her when I first saw her, and that's what started it all. But thanks so much for watching. I hope I was informative. I gave you the soil mix, lighting, the pot she's in, watering, humidity. Like I said, she ain't gonna die if she don't get it. Try not to mist her leaves. Make sure you give her good air circulation. All plants, you want to make sure if you're misting the leaves, make sure you give them air circulation. And if you miss the leaves, also, even if you're giving them air circulation, don't let that sun beam on it and then it dries into the leaves, and then it gives them those little spots, or like water markings. So yeah, I really don't like messing with their leaves, period, unless I'm wiping them down or giving her a shower. And I've learned, if you're gonna miss underneath the leaf, because it really, I believe there's something about missing under the leaves. I just learned about it, but I'm not gonna get into it right now. But if that's, if you like mist, and mist underneath their leaves, try that, because the top part is very fragile because it has a lot of work to do. So, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope everyone enjoyed this video. Hope everyone has a blessed week. Bye.